Welcome to Reinventing Broadcast, where AI meets content. Hosted by Ben Anchor. Let's dive in.
Hi everyone, Ben Anchor here. Welcome back to the podcast. Today we're tackling something that's been on my mind for a while, and I think it's getting increasingly important in broadcast. We hear AI in broadcast everywhere right now. Everyone's talking about it. But I think there's a massive misunderstanding about what actually works. Rihanna, good to have you back.
Thanks for having me, Ben. Yeah, I'm curious where this is going. What's the misunderstanding?
So everyone hears AI in broadcast, and they think we're talking about putting ChatGPT into a newsroom, right? Or using generative AI to write news scripts. And look, there are applications for that. But that's not what I want to talk about today. Today, I want to talk about AI that solves actual operational problems, the kind of AI that makes broadcasters money. And here's the thing, that's usually not a large language model.
So you're saying LLMs are not the answer to broadcast real challenges?
Not the primary answer, no. Look, I spent 3 months at UC Berkeley working on exactly this question. And what I discovered is that the biggest, most valuable problems in broadcast right now don't need ChatGPT. They need data science, proper data science. And there's a massive difference.
Okay, so paint me a picture. What's the real problem?
So fast channels, free ad-supported streaming television, that's where the action is right now. Growth is incredible. 53% year-on-year growth amongst UK public service broadcasters. And they're all running into the same wall.
What wall?
They've got a web-style business model, but 90s-style operations. Think about it. Fast channels run on CPM-based advertising. That's cost per 1,000 impressions. It's transparent. Direct correlation between better content and higher CPM. But how are they scheduling? They're locking schedules on Friday for Monday. They're planning 7 days in advance.
So they're doing linear TV scheduling for a web-based business model?
Yes, and that gap is killing them. Google, YouTube, Meta, they don't predict tomorrow's search queries. Impossible. But they predict the next search query. That's not just possible, it's essential. And they do it in real time. But fast operators, they're locked into Friday planning. Something trends on Saturday morning. The schedule doesn't move. They've already sold the ad inventory at a fixed rate.
So they miss the premium engagement opportunity?
And the advertiser misses out too. They're wondering why broadcast is the one place where timing is completely static. That's the problem we're solving in the proof of concept. We call it Nowcasting.
Nowcasting. That's borrowed from weather forecasting, right?
Exactly. Meteorologists use live signals to predict what's about to happen in the next few hours. Not the weather in 2 weeks, the weather right now. We applied the same principle to broadcast scheduling. Instead of predicting audience appetite for content 7 days from now, we predict it in the next few hours, using live signals happening right now.
What kind of signals?
Google Trends data. What's trending right now? Twitter trending topics, weather forecasts, social sentiment, BARB ratings data from overnight, CDN streaming logs from yesterday. All of that gets fed into a machine learning model, XGBOOST regression, LSTM time series analysis. Proper data science stuff, not generative AI, supervised learning.
So the model learns what combination of signals predicts audience engagement.
And here's the critical bit. We're predicting different timeframes. Hour +1 for immediate decisions. Day +7 for program content lifecycle planning. Day +28 for quarterly inventory management. So say commercials at Tuesday 6:30 a.m. Our model runs and says Tuesday's 7 p.m. audience wants sunny weather copy A, not it's raining copy B. We deliver that change to the scheduling operator. It's essential that a human in the loop is created for total editorial oversight. The AI is the advisor. They stay in control.
That's the key difference from what people imagine when they hear AI in broadcast, isn't it?
People think AI means automation and take humans out of the loop, but what we built is augmentation. Make the humans smarter and faster at decisions they're already making. And the business case, we're talking about cutting prediction error from 20% down to 10%. That's a mean absolute percentage error, MAPE, reduction. That translates directly to 3 to 5% revenue improvement on a typical fast operation.
3 to 5% sounds conservative.
It is. It's deliberately conservative. 3% comes from better day-part matching, scheduling content when audiences are most receptive. 2% from advertiser CPM recovery, reducing fire sales because we predicted audience better. 1% from reduced content waste, fewer underperforming placements. Conservative, yes. But on a mid-sized fast operation, that's millions in recovered revenue annually.
So why isn't everyone doing this already?
Because it's not a data science problem. Well, it is a data science problem. But the real challenge is that it's a broadcast transformation problem first. And that's why a partnership approach matters.
Tell me about that.
We need data science companies that's been building real-time audience intelligence for advertising platforms globally. They'll know how to build ML models that work at scale, how to keep predictions honest, how to avoid drift, how to handle uncertainty properly. That's their world. But they don't understand broadcast operations. They don't know BARB data. They don't know outsourced playout origination systems. They don't know how editorial teams actually think.
So you bring the broadcast knowledge.
Yes, so that decades of broadcast work and transformation. Channel 4 migrations through COVID disruption. Everyone TV and 5 broadcasters launching simultaneously on smart TVs. We understand the change management angle. How to integrate without breaking existing systems. How editorial overrides work. Why operators might resist. All the stuff that matters in a real organization.
Would the data science folks hand off the model?
Well, if they did build brilliant predictions and walk away, that would be leaving you with amazing numbers nobody knows how to use. Model drift nobody catches. Systems nobody trusts. But because we're staying connected through the entire journey, we would catch those problems together. We would train your team and integrate with the actual workflows. That's why it matters that broadcasters need to be doing more in data science, not data scientists doing broadcasts separately.
What does the proof of concept actually look like?
3 months. 1 fast channel on A/B testing. Tight deliverables. Month 1 is foundation. Technical scoping. Playout integration validation. Model training begins with rolling 2-year historical data. We get stakeholder alignment. Train your team on Nowcasting principles. Document the override process.
What about validation?
Month 2. Model training continues. Nightly retraining. 6 hourly mini retrains for responsiveness. Recommendations get delivered to your scheduling operator daily with confidence scores. We capture feedback loops, track editorial overrides, measure actual performance. By end of month 2, we need MAPE below 12%.
That's the prediction accuracy threshold.
Yes, so 12% is the difference between recommendations being valuable versus just noise. Below 12%, your operators feel confident. Above 18%, it doesn't work at all. 12 to 18 is manual intervention territory. 12 and below, you could move towards automation if you wanted. Though most operators prefer to stay in the loop anyway.
And month 3?
The month of testing begins with recommendations live across your complete fast schedule. We measure actual business impact, guidance on content swapped out by the data science, scheduling efficiency improvements. Document everything. Build your case study. After month 3, you have a comprehensive report. This is what worked or needs further improvement. This is what we'd need to optimize for scale. Here's your potential return on investment and the pathway to full deployment.
And I'm not being negative, Nancy, but what if it doesn't work?
That's a fair question. That's actually why I like the 3-month structure. You're not committing to a 2-year program. You're testing a hypothesis. If it works, brilliant. Competitive advantage worth millions. If it doesn't hit targets, you've invested 3 months learning what doesn't work, before competitors waste 12 months discovering the same thing.
So there's value either way.
Exactly. And that's the honest conversation. We think it will work. Academic validation from Berkeley suggests it will work. The technology is proven. Real-time audience intelligence is working at scale globally. But the only way to know if it works for your operation is to test it, with clear success criteria and clear exit points.
What's the competitive situation right now?
We're at an inflection point in broadcast history. Technology, business models, and audience expectations have finally aligned to make real-time optimization not just possible but essential for survival. For 70 years, broadcast scheduling was a Friday afternoon planning exercise. That worked when audiences had 3 channels and advertisers bought on reach alone. But fast channels live in a different universe.
I guess it's like web-style competition.
Exactly. Advertisers expecting web-style optimization. Audiences who've forgotten what appointment viewing means. The only question is timing. Are you first mover, or are you watching competitors capture this advantage? Because they will. Within 12 to 18 months of the first success story, every broadcaster will want this capability.
That's a strong statement.
Look at the history. Colour television, stereo sound, digital switchover, HD, streaming. Every transformation faced resistance. But the winners weren't the organisations with perfect technology. They were the ones that moved decisively when the opportunity became clear. This is that moment for scheduling optimization.
So what's next?
If you're listening and you're running fast channels, let's have a conversation. We understand your operation, your scheduling process, your constraints. You ask questions, and we explore if it makes sense. If there's mutual interest, we do a technical deep dive. Can we integrate with playout? Do we have data access? What does the proof of concept actually look like? If that looks good, 3-month proof of concept, real results, real measurement. Then you decide on scale.
And what if you're not running fast channels?
The principle applies elsewhere too. Everywhere broadcast is running on 1990s operations in a 2020s business environment, there's an opportunity, but fast is the perfect entry point. They've got the tech infrastructure, they've got the economic incentive, they've got fewer legacy constraints. As one broadcast architect told me, fast is still a bit like the Wild West, which means there's room to innovate without fighting decades of entrenched processes.
So this conversation you mentioned, how do people reach out?
Just reach out on LinkedIn or the contact page at ancast.co.uk. We'll schedule that discovery conversation. No obligation. Just exploring whether your fast channels are ready for this evolution.
And that really is the heart of it, isn't it? Not, should we do AI, but are we ready to operate differently?
That's exactly it. The technology is ready. The business case is there. The question is organizational readiness. Are you prepared to be the broadcaster that writes the playbook? Or are you going to follow someone else's model?
Thanks for walking through this, Ben.
Thanks for the conversation. I really appreciated it. And thanks to everyone listening. If you found this useful, please share it with colleagues who are wrestling with fast channel operations, or anyone thinking about real-world AI applications in broadcast, because that's what we're talking about here. Not theory, not LLM wrappers. Real applications solving actual problems. That's where broadcast's future is, and we'll catch you next episode.
Thanks for listening to Reinventing Broadcast. Subscribe for more on AI content and the future of media. And visit ancast.tv for more info on Ben himself, the resources, other content, and news.